Hello, everybody, and welcome to my brand new podcast. Music to Live for with Shanti is me, Shanti, a Swiss musicologist and stage manager, talking with different artists and discussing different topics belonging to the music business. For the first time on my podcast, here is an interview with a band, Lost in a Detail. This post rock band from Zurich immediately caught my attention with a very relaxed but at times extremely energetic and dynamic sound. It was an approach of curiosity since I didn't know what to expect, and the surprise was supreme. I had the pleasure to discuss their way of composing and playing music from the rehearsal room to the vinyl. Thank you very much, Koni and Andi, for this episode. So let's go.
Check this out. Music to live for with Shanti.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to a brand new episode of Music to Live for with Shanti. Today's special episode because I traveled to Zurich to meet a band, Lost in a Detail. I'm here with both guitarists, right? Yeah. So, what can I say? I get in touch with this band because the drummer used to work with me at the opera, and once told me, I have this band, I'm recording, I'm mixing everything, and check it out. He sent me the link, and I said, "Whoa, yeah, finally, a Swiss band that I really like." Yeah, for the audience, just check it out. Lost in a Detail. You can find it in all platforms, and yeah, just to have take a listen to the songs and the album, and then just dive into this episode because we gonna discuss a little bit what does it mean having a band, what are the talks behind the whole project and the recording process, the creating process. I mean, those are things that I think really interesting. But first of all, I let both my friends to introduce themselves.
Hi, thank you, Shanti, for saying hello to us. We'd like to introduce our band. Thank you very much for coming to Zurich for us. We really appreciate that. I'm Koni. I'm the guitarist. Also one of the founders of the band. That's important because we changed a little bit, especially the guitarist part. As we see now, the guitarists are always really important because we are here and the other two are not here. So, I know it. But
Yeah, hi. Thank you for your kind words. My name's Andy. I also play the guitar. As Connie said, I joined in. I am not a former member, so I joined last year in January, I think. So I'm very excited to play in this band and to bring my own ideas to the music, to the sound. Yeah.
So this is the hardest question maybe I can ask to a band. How would you describe your sound? Because the first time that I got the link of your of a song, I didn't know what to expect. It was something more metal, something more rock. I don't know. So it just click play, and there was this sound really ambient, um, dimensional sound, really like spaces, in between. And then it was the drum coming in. Some fields were really heavy in some ways, and then just move into another segment of the song, still more easy, and then go back to bring some energy again. Um, I have to be honest, I was quite new in this kind of sound. I guess I have heard just some similar band, I would say, but it's not definitely the kind of music I will listen to every day. And I was so happily surprised. So, how can we describe it?
Well, I think you mentioned a lot of important points. I think the most important point for those who don't know post-rock is we don't have any lyrics, we don't have any vocals. So it's just instrumental sound, but also electric guitars, bass, synthesizers, drums. And I think for me, I think it's a quite a big word, post-rock. For me, it's like as you said, those instrumental parts in the beginning and a lot of atmosphere, slow beginnings, which always stagger a little bit, and you have those like 2 or 3 peaks during the song. And we like to mix it with some heavy parts because I think yeah our background is also in black metal, metalcore, so a bit heavier stuff than post rock, and we really like to mix it. And I think that's maybe something that gives us a rather unique sound. Yeah.
So it was kind of like a kind of compromise, or just you met some your friends, your other members, and said, "Okay, I think this would be fits good for everybody."
I think the funny part of like this kind of question is that like Andy said, our roots are mostly in metal, and our bassist, his roots are extremely like different because he's more like the jazz bassist. But the other three, like we other three guys, like we're more into metal. But we have one connection, I think, and that's post rock, even before the band. So um, we didn't had a didn't had to compromise or making like this decision, especially because we all love post rock, even if we listen to metal a lot. So I think it was really clear. We started the band already with the plan of playing post rock. We weren't like jamming and seeing where is it going. Like we really wanted to start a post rock band because next to metal sound, we really wanted to start having atmospheric parts, having like this instrumental music without lyrics and at all. Like Andy here and the drummer, they played in black metal. They had a black metal band before, but we really decided to have like this kind of sound, and yeah, that's what it is now.
Yeah, I think one fun part is that actually the 4 guys of us we met each other on Dunk Festival in Belgium, which is a post rock festival, maybe the biggest. I don't know. Yeah, maybe. And so yeah, I think there we saw that we have one common taste, and that is post rock. Yeah. So that's how we met.
So it's that's, I guess, the one of the most interesting part. Like you know each other, you share the passion for music, different kind of music, and then you say, okay, let's jam, let's try something, and then you find this common ground. Of course, there was this idea, this the guideline should be post rock, okay, but it wasn't like, okay, it has to be sound like this and like that. It was this, of course, this rehearsal jam session process, and then you just mature and you find some part that say, okay, could be a potential product for what we want to do and realize.
And I think one important thing here is that the former guitarist, like one of the other guitarists, he is now out of the band, and Andy is here now. And like he also loved post rock, but he had kind of other taste of music. He was more like in this punky way. He made like more, I don't know, melodic and rhythmic stuff. And but he left the band, and Andy now, I think this is the style we really wanted all the time, and that's now the main sound. And I think it changed a little bit from the beginning to now. And like at the moment, we are recording an album again and doing everything. So it also changed a little bit, but the plan was from the beginning. It was the start to make having a post rock band and doing this kind of music.
And let's go a little bit technical. Like in front of me, I have the album. Uh, I really love the fact that you choose as a first product to put out a CD. I mean, nowadays we'll say old school CD now is also, but you realize also a great plate. So to everybody out there, you can find LPs and CD of the band, of course, and this choice. I mean, why you choose also to produce both or not just to stay on a online platform like many bands do right now, because let's be honest, it's an investment. Of course, his style is present, is something material, and I think that now it's also trendy to collect vinyls again. And for once, it's definitely a cool trend, I would say, because the quality ends up. I mean, it's always high. But I mean, for a, I would say for a new band coming with a new sound and new ideas, was this a choice hard to make, or it was also this part of the glare of the magic of the other thing?
I think maybe it matches with our beginning thoughts, which, okay, I'm not a former member, but uh, when they invited me, they told me that we take this rather seriously. And I think if you spend so much energy and invest so much time and so on, you don't want to have it only on online platforms. Like, it's not enough to only have it on Spotify. You want to have something physical, not only for the consumers but also for us. And then we had this nice coincidence that we have a friend that is really into art, and he was very open minded to design this whole um, picture for the album. And I mean, then it was really obvious that we have to make an LP and a CD. And as you said, I mean, it's quite a trend also in the post rock scene that many people like and buy LPs, especially LPs. So actually, we were before we decided to have the CD. We also we first started to with the idea of having an LP and then also a CD. And yeah, I think um, yeah, we also sold much more LPs than CDs by now.
Yeah, that's what I took. And so I think now I'm gonna jump straight on the topics that it's dear to me, talking about your band, and it's the graphic, because your album graphic really blow my mind. I love it. I really love it. The choice not so, you will see, audience, just Google it, because it's worthy. Um, Honestly, as I said, on my place I have the vinyl, so a biggest, I would say, space to show the artwork. And at the beginning, I mean, in the cover we have this tree, and the first time I saw it, I said, okay, cool. I like the way it's designed, but and I say, okay, is a tree coming out from a stone at the beginning? And then I look at it better and better. See, oh my god, that's a face. I mean, it's a head. There's a head coming out from the ground like a stone, and out of this head comes this tree. But it's not violent. It's something like nature made with the time and everything. And that's reminded me a lot. I found a good connection of the music in this album. I mean, these sounds with no words, but and different dynamics. Obviously, something soft, and then comes some parts more rhythmic, and then we have the wonderful back of the album with ends coming out from the ground is more dynamic, and this ends like seems like being movement, like coming out, but also keeping safe another tree, you know. And it's clear that, I mean, to me, this tree is this product. This is your music, right? It's because since something new is something young, and you want to keep safe, keep it true, stay true. I come from the hardcore scene, man. This is a true stay true, stay true graphic, you know, like yeah. So this is something that I really love, not just the sound, but really the cover, because I have always been of the idea, but this is not my idea. This is a lesson that I have learned from a good friend of mine, as a photographer in Ticino, and he had the chance to work during the film festival Locarno with very great directors, movie directors. And once he said, you know, he's also a big lover of post-hardcore, emos, and metalcore. And once he told me, you know, if a band wants to go out with an album, the graphic, it's something. Even if you are like sending like your what we said, your demo to a producer or friends or a bar, I mean, I live this. When I had my booking agency, I received per post a lot of album, small CD, and sometimes it was just the CD naked, and sometimes it was like, okay, there was something interesting. It's still on your desk for maybe 1 week or a month, but if you have a product, really curious, say, oh, wait, what is it? I definitely need to check it out. So the eye is music, but the eye makes its own part. Like, so I don't know. We want to shout out a little bit for the creator of this art. Who want to say something about it?
Okay. Yeah, his name is Donut Tobler. For those who want to check him out, you find it on Instagram. Donut Tobler, again. Now, thank you for your interpretation of the picture. I think you are the first one who compares us with the tree. Um, that's a nice part of art. You can there is so many ways of interpretation of a picture. Um, Actually, if you fold it out and turn it around, it's like a story. So you have this tree here, and then the hands come up and wanted to put him down, but the tree is stronger and yeah, tears them off. So that's actually that was maybe our interpretation, but there's not one correct interpretation. Yeah, man, I'm really proud of that work. And as you said, I mean, I do the same way. If I see a cover of a band and it's yeah attractive, I want to hear the sound. I mean, there is so many bands and so many albums, and of course, many of them are very good. But yeah, you first catch those who have a great artwork. I think it's that simple. And we were lucky enough to have this collaboration with Donut.
And I think a really important story about Donut is, yeah, like you said, he's a friend of us, and I think it's really important that we know him. Like you can have a good album cover hiring someone from, I don't know, Croatia or whatever, in on Fiverr for having them for $20, or you know what I mean. But like having an album artwork of Donut is like, it's a personal thing, right? I mean, we're really proud to have such a cool artwork on the album, and that's why we printed it. Also, it was always clear that we're gonna have a vinyl, and it doesn't matter, how much you sell or whatever. I mean, it's not about selling anything. It's more about having a product, you're proud of it, and you want to show it. And I think with the situation with online bands or having online songs, that's also, I mean, that's for us as a band. I mean, it's always easier to just have, and cheaper, of course, to have just a lot of singles you're giving out on Spotify and whatever. And I'm totally okay with bands doing it, but I think for us it's more, it's like kind of process for doing the songs together, recording it together, then having an album cover. For example, for this album, we didn't told Donut what he should design. He just made it with listening to our music, knowing us. Of course, we just had some corrections or whatever, but it's like more a collective thing, and it's not about having just a single on Spotify, for example. Just having like a cool product in your hands, and especially the vinyl. We're really happy that we made it with Dunk. Like with the Dunk label, they have a Dunk pressing. They do the vinyls, and it's really nice with colors and everything. And yes, as Andy said, we sold some vinyls already, and it's like a lot. And I think it's cool to have orders from Ireland or the US or whatever, even if we're a newbie band, and they just love our sound, and for sure they love our cover. And that's a really nice feeling, and it's way better than having $200 for a gig. It doesn't mean anything, and this one is nice, I think.
Yeah, and also in a period like this, we are like 1.5 year in this new world, let's say. Um, yeah, for many bands, we tried also in classical music, do this live streaming. It works maybe 1 2 times, but then we all get bored. I mean, personally, with all respect, all the people out there trying to keep going, and doing show and live streaming, but it's not the same. They know it, we know it. So I think that for a band, concentrate themselves on a product is also something important. Like, I think the last year there's a couple of bands coming out with really, really good products, and this is maybe one of the reason for sure. Not maybe for sure. It's because they didn't have to be on tour or being a lot on stage. So I'm kind of person who like to see the glass always half full. You know, like of course we miss this kind of situation. No way, but this is it. Back in studio, guys. I mean, describing the sound and the way the band met and start to work, it comes out. It was like a little bit becoming like starting like jamming, but and so I think this term is interesting with the post rock genre. But um, on this album, we have 6 tracks. That means they have a start and a end, I would say. So this improvisation have to start somewhere and end somewhere after the whole roller coaster of sounds. How how does it work with you? How did you choose to set, I would say, the storyline, but also how a song, where it start and where it's end?
That's a good question, actually. So I think it's first of all, it's way easier because we all listen to post rock, so we're not in a just borderless jamming situations. So we all like if we jam, we all know it's gonna be a song. And actually, we got a lot of song ideas every time. So it's like it's more hard to choose what are we gonna like work on to have a song in the end. So and as I said, like we're totally not kind of jam band, but of course we jam a lot to have this sound. But I think like technically it all starts with Andy or me having like an idea of picking on the guitar, having like some classic like pattern or whatever. So and then we just jam, and yeah, I think it's working really well. But as you said, we have 6 tracks on the album, and the album is full. I mean, the vinyl is full, so it's what he said, like 42 minutes or 43 minutes for the vinyl, and yeah, the songs are all 6 or 7 minutes. So yeah, like it's a good question. So we all have to, end it somewhere. But that's a cool thing in post rock. I think that people enjoy having like long, similar patterns and enjoying the atmosphere and not having, for example, when I listen to metal, I expect totally other thing like changes and always like changing of hard stuff and then singing and whatever. And on our album and our style, I think it's more about having the atmosphere and having some cool guitar pattern. And don't forget the cool bass pattern because we love to have Bruno in our band. He's a great bassist, and also with Jakob, he's a great drummer. He did, like we said, he did metal drumming before, so he knows a lot about cool drumming and also hard drumming, but changing in some parts. So it's I think we got a good mix between everything.
I think you mentioned a good point here because if I compare ourselves to other bands or jamming sessions with other friends, I think it's special that we are like 4 people with really creative minds for music, and yeah, it's crazy that we can sit together, start jamming, and it could be a next song. We have to stop each other from jamming sometimes because we don't have any space left on the next album for new songs. So we have to stop each other from having new ideas. That's pretty cool, and yeah, sometimes it's hard to find a structure during a song, and I mean, it's it's very often that we just record something during the jam, and afterwards we listen to it and we see like, wow, we played the same riff for like 4 minutes. And during the play we were very into it, but then afterwards during listening it's maybe a bit too long, and then we shorten it, and yeah, that's how we structure our songs then. Yeah, but it's I think it's maybe the hardest part to really, I mean, it's very atmospheric and jammy from the character, and then you have to put a structure on it. And in my opinion, very often it destroys the magic of a song if you say like, oh, we play this 8 times and this part 4 times, because actually you just want to flow and you don't want to count. Yeah. But yeah, I think we are improving in that process.
Yeah, I think this is the magic also to having a band. Um, I also had my experience playing with friends. Um, and to me personally, it was always having fun playing. You know, like I play most of the time punk rock. I love punk rock, and at the drums, you know, the beat is that you don't go far or different, but it's still fun playing, you know. And this is what I was looking for. And at the time, I had some friends having fun too, but looking for maybe something else, you know, like it would be like success. Or we didn't have YouTube or something like this. It was more like MySpace. MySpace. This is a topic that comes out a lot in my podcast because yeah, with a lot of friends of mine, it comes out. Yeah, we grow up with MySpace, and like now on YouTube, you'll find a lot of great guys playing guitar, drums, whatever. And I think in some ways it's still a great opportunity for young musicians to share their talent and to give advices, you know. But at the other side, it seems to me that there's a lot of egocentric way, you know, like because there is a lot the way you look like, the way you wear, the way you expose yourself. So we have all these two faces, and sometimes maybe it seems like a race: who is the best, who is the faster. And so you know, and on the other side, you say, okay, now I can just look at the video, see how this guy is moving on the instrument, and I can only learn. I think it's a lot of on the mindset. Something that I would brings out is something that I discussed today while I was on the train coming to Zurich with a good friend from me, of mine, sorry, from Italy. Shout out to Luigi of Ultranoia, and we were saying um, right now. I mean, a couple of months ago, Machine Gun Kelly comes out with a great pop punk album, and he was known for doing hip hop or trap. I don't know what's the right term, you know. And it did his album quite good. The voice fits right with the sound. It was catchy and so cool. I mean, I say this. I was kind of melancholic to say, oh, this is the sound that I remember from 10, 12 years ago. And then I noticed that it was produced by Travis Barker. I mean, Blink 182 drummer, really an interesting musician. And yeah, then YouTube just gave me other similar artists, and it seems that you know, like there are a lot of there is like a comeback on the scene of this kind of music, punk rock, melodic, emo, and but the fact is that it's always a one person band, you know. And the question is this a new trend, or how is gonna be the perception of the audience, what will it be? Because one of the why I choose to play in a band first is because I play with my friends. And you said we jam together, we look us in the eye, say, oh yeah, that was cool, or that's too long, you know. There's this way to communicate that you only have when you there is this boundary, this equilibrium, you know. And now I just think what will understand you know, 14 years old, because that was the age where I got into looking for cities for punk and everything. um and at the time was, yeah, I want to have a band, but now it's this idea of I can do a lot on my own thanks to the technology, thanks to the way I can expose myself, and I can think you are all in this band. You say it seems like a match made in heaven. Like you said the drummer uh, know how to give the grit and the passion um, in the right moment, but then he know also how to be subtle and to be smooth. You with both guitars, you come to, it seems that you can hear in the album, you know, where is the balance and the bass. Yeah, the bass is also very, very good. So great, once again. But you're a band, you're a four members band. And so this is, that's pop up in my mind, you know, like now it seems that you can do all alone on your own. And in some ways it's still something interesting because allow you to express your art, your willing to produce something, but at the same times it seems that it missed something. I don't know, I this is a little bit what I miss with. And yeah, and we know the music business is still a business. And yeah, like there is no more the rock star that we have in the 90s. Let's say the biggest name, Michael Jackson. Like we don't have more like real singer that few that can really sing. Let's be honest. I mean, the biggest voice for me in the rock, Freddie Mercury. You know, he had this kind of special. There is out there nowadays good musician, good artists, but I think that they give the best when they are really part of something. You know, like there was this retrospective on Michael Jackson. One of his last documentary comes out, and it was very interesting because you see this special person he was. Um, but he needed the support of the dancers, of a good bands playing. You know, it's that what, like, personally I really enjoy when I see some rapper going on stage with a band, maybe doing some funky. Even Beyonce on stage, you got like a drummer. She has a very good drummer, and you know, this is cool because I think the live experience is something else. You know, but yeah, still this idea that now you can do on your own, and then yeah, this is the problem of society, I think. That then everybody's on their own, and it missed the communication. It missed also this willing to share experience. Long story short, somebody broke me to a concert. I was, I guess, 18, and I remember this friend of mine, a couple of years older, say, "Let's go listen to Cataract." It's a Zurich band, and they played in Ticino. And it was my first concert, but I love the idea that somebody brings you in this world. It could be the metal scene, but it could be a every scene you want. And so I think after this, my long reflection, I would like to hear your opinion. You know?
I think it's interesting that you talk about that because it's one discussion we also had in the band because we are also thinking about yeah, if everybody of us had the equipment to make their own songs at home, we could just bring them to the band and play them together. But it's also always my opinion is yeah, it makes it easier, of course. But then it's only the idea of one person. And I think it's the most interesting part in having a band is bringing an idea to the band and have it modified by the band. And maybe not always like you want it. Maybe they bring some new ideas, new stuff, and maybe in the first moment you think, I would play that differently, but in the end, you have this like four-person work and not just one person. And yeah, I think also we don't live that far away from each other, so we don't really need to make it that way. Yeah, I think I mean, it takes a lot more time. I mean, the process of writing a song is much longer if you always come together as a band. You have to meet together. You have to find a day to meet each other, and then you have to be creative together and finding compromises. And yeah, but it's just the way I like playing in a band. So to have this common project afterwards, not just so the guitarist one made this song and guitarist two made this song and bassist made this song, and we have like three songs from three different people, and yeah, I think many bands do that, but yeah, it's not really my world. I think I just like to take the time, and as you said, I mean, during Corona time, there were so many releases. I mean, every band released at least one or two albums during this pandemics, and there's a lot of pressure to go with them and also bring new stuff. But yeah, still, I still insist on that. Maybe.
Yeah, I think the same way. Especially, it's also in post rock. Actually, it's like a more kind of jamming style, maybe. But also, especially during the pandemic times, a lot of like single artists or post rock artists, like one man projects, bring out some albums, and like some of them are really great, and I love to listen to them. But I think in the end, it's still, yeah, for us it's having this one day we are together in the band room and playing together. I think it's kind of magic, and it's not only the process of songwriting. And there are a lot of post rock bands or like one man bands doing that, and I'm totally okay with the end product. But like having fun and having like this time together, I think that's really unique. And yeah, that's like one kind of sound we really like, or making sound we really like.
I think one important thing you said is that emotional part. Like you have this song afterwards, and you can say, "Ah, that's that evening that we were drunk and in the rehearsal room, and we created this song." And not just, yeah, it was a lonely evening at home, and I created this song by my own, and yeah, then we played it with the band.
And I think it's funny, especially on the album, on this album, like the last song, "Harmony But No Love." Actually, it's such a funny story behind this song, because Bruno, our bassist, it was like he joined the band later, and it's so funny because like this song just has been written on the first evening he was playing with us. And it's funny, he's the bassist, in a lot of bands, and I have to say, a lot of metal and rock bands. I think, on my personal opinion, the bass is always really boring and just supporting the guitar lines. And like this song just show how important it is to have like multiple band members, because it was his first song and he's the bassist, and it was his first evening, and he just came up with this cool bass line you hear in the beginning of the song, and we just jammed to it, and now it's on the CD. And I think processes like this you can't do alone, actually, in the end. Yeah. And what you said before with the, with the fame and the single artists and everything, I think that's really cool in the post rock scene, and I really want to shout out for the post rock scene. I think the point is, you will never be, that way famous with a post rock band, like, all the big bands, like, I don't know, Metallica, Iron Maiden, and whatever. You won't be like that, fame for the post rock sound, because it's a smaller scene. But the point is, I think that's also why the post rock bands, they don't have, and also us, we don't have this pressure, to be at a really good label, whatever, and produce this really cool song everyone likes on Spotify and YouTube and whatever. So we just make what we want, like, to do, and people appreciate it or not. And I think that's one cool point on post rock, and that's also why we love the scene and this music. It's like, it's not this, big thing behind it. And especially I was playing in a rock band before as well, and it's like, you don't have the pressure on playing at all the festivals and being with 1,000 bands from Zurich, where we are from, like, and have this competition. It's just you do your own sound. And the internet post rock scene, like I said, from Ireland or from the US, they're gonna buy it because it's a cool product. And even if you just, I don't know, sell 2 or 20 or 200 albums, it's still, people really love it, and especially they search for it. That's a cool thing about post rock. Like, people really actively search for good post rock music, and I think that's that's really unique with the post rock scene.
Okay, then I guess I have to dig a little bit deeper in that scene because yeah, this is one of the reasons I do podcast. You know, like talk to people, learn something new, and yeah, I have something to listen to on my way back to Basel. But if I don't say something wrong, you also have a video clip, or you are producing a video clip. I mean, can you already tell us something, because this is also something interesting. I really enjoy watching video clip on YouTube of a band because some are really cool, well made. Um, they really fit with the song, or some are more complicated, intricate, and other really simple. And sometimes simple, you always the winning situation. Um, thinking of about your sound, what is your idea or your ideal vision of a video clip for a song? And of course you can also describe a little what you had done till right now.
Yeah, you're right. We're now, like, since now we talked the last time, now we have two video clips actually. That's a really funny story behind it. Because the first video clip, we don't have any money to produce a video clip, and it's kind of expensive, but we really want to have this media to show our sound. So really like the visual style as well. I'm not that into like specific post rock video clips, but I really enjoy like good art video clips in general for every band. I know it a lot from old metal bands. I really love the video clips. I'm not that much on YouTube these days, but really want to have also this medium for showing our sound. So it's so funny. We ask a friend of us. He's called Nicola Tröller, and like he's just a friend, you know. We know for some time, and he's professional video maker and photograph. And we just ask him to lend a camera, like a good camera. I just like wrote him like a WhatsApp. Can we lend a camera because we don't have any money to buy one, you know, and we're not video makers. And it was so cool because it was during the pandemic times, and he just said, "Yeah, and of course, and can I help you in other way?" And we were like, "Yeah, for sure. If you want to help, I mean, if you want to make the whole video clip, I mean, it's your decision." He was like, "Okay, I'm gonna do it." And we are so happy, and that's also the video clip comes out with the next single. Like, we decided to make one single because it's still a long process to have the album in a year or something. So we decided to make like one song as a single with the video clip, and that's the next point, and that's the next thing is gonna come out in the next, I don't know, 1 or 2 or 3 months. We don't know. We don't have like schedules or something. And the second video clip we just finished some days before. It's a film team from Zurich, MX Films, and they just asked us to make video clips because they heard our sound on internet, and they just wanted to start producing band video clips, and they just asked us to having or making a video clip with us, for us, and with us, and it was a really funny process actually.
I think um, back to your question about post rock, I think it matches perfectly with video clips because, as I mentioned, there are no lyrics, no vocals, so you only have the instrumental sound. And I often think when I listen to post rock that it would match to a movie, like a movie soundtrack or something, and so therefore it's perfect for a video clip. And maybe about the content of the video clips. Um, I think in both video clips we have like a story mixed with some art, impressions of nature and whatever. The one video clip for the single, which is called "We Feed the Giants," by the way. um, it's like a mixture of our band playing in a cool place in an old church, and mixed with a storyline in a forest, and it's really. I hope it's that great as I expected because he's really a professional photographer and movie maker. So, yeah, I think it's gonna be great. Yeah,
So there is also a little bit of surprise for you. That's cool because it's still a process. It's something keep moving and everything. That this is definitely one of the nicest things that can happen. Like you have an idea and you start working on it, and then the final product normally is not what you expected, but it's still better, or in the end it fits right.
yeah.
But I remember you also played like in a whole church, or and I love the picture I saw because the atmosphere was great. I mean, the the architecture of the place and everything seems to fit. But I think that was a concert, right?
Yeah, it was a concert, but actually the video clip is in the exact same place. So you will see that again, that place. Yeah.
Okay, and yeah, it's fun. It's this kind of like recycling a little bit, but
Yeah,
but it's
maybe.
good, like
But it was so great. I mean, we had to be there again.
yeah. I mean, this is that's the way. I mean, you try something, you see, okay, that could work, and then you go back with more equipment, with more experience, and it's like being on stage. I mean, we all got through this situation where you go and there is like one people or two in front of you, but you still playing there because this is the you are there. You are the chance to be on stage, and you play. And but then like 5 months later, you are maybe on the same stage or on another stage, and you see there's more people. And then you remember why you're doing this and think, and and in the meanwhile, you have learned a lot, not just how to play your song live, but also how to move, of to give a little bit fun to the audience and everything. Like I remember being at the Muse played in Locarno at the Moon and Star, and my sister gave me the tickets. And that year was crazy. I saw Beastie Boys live, and I saw Muse live. Okay, Beastie Boys legends, one of my favorite bands. No way, but Muse, there is a but because great sound, great light show and everything, entertainment 100%. Um, but the guy I remember, I think they play like 15 songs, and he said something in between only 3 times. I remember finishing a song and say, "We are Muse," and this is next song is called Starlight, and then find the bass stop play. Okay, I mean it was so he can sing and he can also speak. I mean, great experience, but yeah, I mean, just to say, to give to the audience something, like the motivation. I mean, as I said, I'm a metalcore fan. Like you go to a concert, there is the lead singer. There is this band called Terror, and Scott Fogel is great because he's the guy you can go there and talk to him, but when he's on stage, like, come on, go on, move on. That's the way. And I think this is hardcore. Okay, the scene is like this, but I think this is in every kind of music. It could be also a DJ. It can motivate. Like I love hardstyle. I grew up with Thunderdome and like heavy stuff. And there is this young DJ called Sefa. I think he's 21 now, or 20. And when I saw him on video on YouTube, I said, man, I definitely want to see him live because, you see that he's behind the console, but he also want to give this feeling, to the audience, be part of the event, not just being the event and be there. And in that way, I would say that post rock remind me more of that because, like, that kind of music have less dialogue, less lyricism. Sorry, and yeah, but you want to tell the story. You want to bring that energy that you are on stage to the audience. It's not because you are playing a 6 minute song that has to be boring. Let's be honest. That I think that that's something that if you're not there, you may, and this is maybe also the problem with some product, just audio, so let's say, because if the sound doesn't have this kind of peculiarity, this changement, as you said, the drummer know how to do the feel in that way or to play softly, and like, then you don't have these dynamics that we have in classical music, like, and yeah, those are all these small things that could be live or could be like on the album. And going back on your album, this is something that I really enjoyed. I let it go, just put it on my vinyl on LP player. I just listen to it and say, yeah, that's cool. And I don't know, it's not that I was disappointed about the Swiss scene, because there was a lot of good bands. There are a lot of bands that try really hard to do something. Um, but yeah, there are no. I think that personally, I think your band really just sparkle on the scene right now. So I'm happy to hear that there is a lot of good thing coming. It'll be video clip, hopefully going back on stage soon. And yeah, talking about dynamics, one of the bands I really love for that are Tool. I mean, of course, big name is like but like, but yeah, it can just inspire because they got this also this kind of rhythmic, this kind of soft. There is this song Jambi that I really love. This huge crescendo, it's crescendo, and then stop, and then make this so easy breakdown. I would say just, but in the whole song, that fits just right. Or like in the song, I really love the song. I think it's called "It's Sober," and when it's singing like the way, and then in the refrain, the sound just open. It's like on the when he's singing, the main part is just it's like go straight, keeping the rhythm, the lyricism also going in that way, and then it go in the refrain. It's just open. I said, "Whoa!" So this is something interesting to put out in a record, and not be scared. Something that I really enjoyed about the album also is the fact that you just put out something and you can feel that it's something that you are enjoying doing, because yeah, as I said, there is a lot of new input out there, and I think, I don't know. It seems that it brings maybe more insecurity than just new ideas. There's a lot of band that have a good idea, but they try to keep it play safe. All meaning. I say, okay, we want to go. Maybe decide to collaborate more with this and that, or no, just publish this kind of sound because it's more catchy, or it can be easy listen or easy selling. um your album is I mean, this is your sound, and this is something that I think it is also the people out there all over the world that have the chance to order the CD or the LP. um they really understand from you, and the end, this is, I guess, the best feelings, like, that those people out there really enjoying of what you produce. But I know this is say, I mean, we are doing this episode together. That's why I'm also shout out a lot of the album, but it's not just because I have the need to talk good about the album, but because this was an album. This is what you honestly, this is the first episode with a band, and I wanted the band. Because we also had tried to record also an episode last time, but Zoom wasn't not so good with all the band members. I mean, it was hard, so we decided wait a little bit and we can meet together and do the right thing. And this is what we're doing tonight. But the fact that I really want your band to be part of my pod, because I really enjoy the sound, and I wanted to share my opinion, as I said, about the album cover, and I want to understand better. My next step for sure is to come see you live. To me, a band, it's a band when it's good live. I mean, it happened to me that there's band that I love, listen to, the bump while riding my bike or in the city or on the train, and then I saw them live and say, "Come on, what was that?" You know, and I don't know. I have the feelings that it won't be disappointing, and I'm missing the live scene, and I think that your sound would be just great. I mean, on a stage, or I mean, if we think about where we are living, Switzerland, it has so many good location, and I'm not speaking about those in the cities. It would be Basel or Zurich or St. Gallen or whatever. I mean, let's think about Davos. Let's think about in Ticino, from where I come from, the lakeside. I mean, this is a sound that man, with the right natural scenario, you don't have to be complicated, and I think it's gonna fit just right.
I think that's a really important point, but because that's in our eyes what's also post rock is. In the at the Dunk Festival where we actually all met, they have an outdoor stage in the forest. Actually, they have two stages, and one is in the forest. And it's such a magical moment, when everyone is at this forest stage, all are outside. And as you said, it's not like on an entertaining metal festival, we also like, of course, but like in the post rock festival, like there are 200 people sitting on the floor or standing and just listen to your sound, and there's no one screaming or like clap the hands or everything. They're just actively listen to the sound, and that's, I think, really important. So when I listen to, especially also I also love to rave and having electronic music, me personally, but that's totally a different song and different meaning of music, to be entertained and whatever. But I think that's the cool and magic thing about the post rock stuff, having a band outside at the forest stage, having 200 guys sitting there and actively listen your sound, and that's so great. And the other example, like This Will Destroy You, is a really famous post rock band, and I just enjoyed one concert with them. They have long parts, like 5, sometimes 6 minutes, just playing just a really soft, atmospheric tunes, sometimes just like one tune, and then you just have this breakdown, and all the guitars and bass is just like woof, it's just like a bass. And 6 minutes, like everyone was quiet and just standing there with closed eyes. And on the 7th minute, like the whole band and all the audience are just like this slow head banging, just everyone. That's such a, I get goosebumps when I think about it. So such a great moment, and that's cool about post rock and about this style and this scene, I think.
Yeah, I think there's this one very nice part about post rock, because those peaks, as I mentioned, if you would start with them, it would just be a normal a rock song. But since we are playing like 5 minutes of slow atmospheric sound, those peaks do even more, have even more impact, and you really get into it. But I really love this, outdoor experience, and just be, also sitting or standing there, having your eyes closed, and just dream away. It was also a feedback that we got after our first concert. Um, Many people told us that they were dreaming of, and they were in their childhood, and experiencing different stuff, and yeah, it was really nice. That is just this genre of music. I mean, of course, I also like mosh pits and things like that, but it's just another world.
So, new album. I mean, new album. Yeah, let's say it's still a first and new album. It's still fresh, still hot. And so we have also talk about video coming out. Hopefully, shows. Um, One question, of course: which band would you like be on tour with? Come on, come on. I mean, because this is a sound that I would like to see also, not just with other post rock band. You know what I mean? I will see. I can imagine, like having an opening act, then you, and then maybe another, or you as last one. It would be there would be like a very interesting, um, I would say, dynamic in a show. So all the promoter out there, listen to the podcast. Don't forget about this, but this answer is gonna be interesting. Okay, for those who don't know, we have it's funny because we that's the cool of not being on Zoom is that I see that my guest are prepared. There's a paper with a list of bands. And I noticed that I know no one of those. No, I don't know nobody.
See, that's the point about post rock. Even the most famous band you don't know because it's such a small scene. But I think as a Swiss band, it would be an honor to play with Leech, because Leech is just that Swiss post rock band. I mean, everybody who listens to post rock in Switzerland loves Leech. I think there is nobody who doesn't like them. And like in general, it would be nice to play with Mono, or if these trees could talk, or yeah. Yeah, maybe that would be the greatest thing, or maybe God is an astronaut.
Connie, what's your opinion?
Oh, that's really hard to say. I think from the style, fitting the style, and my love to this band it would be Milanku. It's for sure you don't know it because they're from Canada and they're not that famous. But Andy knows it. He's smiling because like they're not that real fame. But I love the style. Like they're really raw, not this dreamy post rock, not at all. It's more metal style, also with lyrics. But I love the style. And yeah, I think with the big band, I think Alcest would be great because we all love this band. Maybe you know them, and they're really genius. It's not post rock at all as well, but I think this dreamy and kind of fitting sound and having your eyes closed and listen to it, I think it would fit them all. But I would say yes, with as a Swiss band, of course, like Leech is the band in Switzerland for for touring it, for knowing them and having their sound. It's really it's an experience we made years ago to have this band, and yeah.
And for sure will happen because I one of the first band punk rock I always loved. That was No Use for a Name. I had the chance to also met them because the punk rock I was at the time had the chance to open the concert in the south side of Switzerland. And it was like, we all have this list of things would you like to do or witness in life. And you can just put a cross, like done. And so I think everything is possible. That's cool. So I think that if you, I mean, I don't know. As I said, I'm a positive person. If you keep that way, it will happen. If you keep that way, it will happen. It will happen.
I think the new album will be even better.
Whoa, 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 whoa. So now, guys, things are getting real. Things are getting real, and I like it. This is the attitude. This is the attitude. This is what we need right now. Like stop thinking about the past. Great band out there from the past, but now the future is out there. Great, guys. Thank you very much for being part of my podcast. I really enjoyed, and I'm really happy that I have this this called in German Bauchgefühl. That I definitely need to talk to you about your product, about your music, and your idea. Because as I said, it's an album that I really enjoyed. It was really seriously now, really a good surprise. It was a period of my life also that I needed something fresh like this, and most of the energy and my therapy come from music. It had an impact, really. So thank you very much. I thank you also the other two guys that are not here right now with us. Thank you to be part of this band and giving your amazing idea and your music authenticity to this band. And so, Lost in a Detail with the album The Nothing is Spreading. And yeah, go check it out. Help this band. Buy some stuff. Merch. There is also a t-shirt or just album right now.
There is a T-shirt coming.
Okay, so
We print them by ourselves, but we need to print again.
We're lazy guys.
okay. You run out of ink, of course.
yeah.
Yeah. No, great. It's just a final word from you, and then I think we can close this episode. But it was really really fun. And thank you very much.
Thank you, Shanti, for inviting us to your podcast. It was really cool to talking about it, and for all the promotion, for all the, especially talking about the music. And I hope you're gonna explore the post-rock scene. And I hope to see you at our next concert after all the restriction and pandemic stuff and everything. So we hope to enjoy a concert with you really soon. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you also, and maybe we will see each other at Dunk Festival once, because then you can see all the magic of post rock, and maybe for all the promoters, we play Dunk Festival in like 2 or 3 years. No, but no, it was very nice talking with you, and it's a really nice podcast. Thank you very much.
Thank you, guys. I really hope that those dreams will come true. Um, enjoy moment like this is important to me because podcasting, talking to the artist directly is what I was looking for. Having different opinion, different point of view, and like right now, getting to like definitely a new genre of music that I know that it was out there, but never just look at it for it. And this is it. I could just could go on Spotify and just genre and just click first. But like when you talk to people, um, you see it that when they are really excited about something, when something is worth it to get check it out. And so this is what one of the goals of this podcast was just for me, first of all, for me as Shanti, as learn something, and I really hope that the audience out there also will be curious as I am. So thank you very much once again, and I hope to see you soon live.
Check this out. Music to live for with Shanti.
If you are interested in supporting the band, there is all the necessary links in the description of this episode. To close in beauty, I choose the song Don't Mess Up Your Chances because it's the one I prefer the most.